two events.
I actually have no idea what it's going to look like. He's never been pushed like this. That kid is incredible.
Rich Froning is firing up this crowd.
They are battling neck and neck. This is unbelievable. Look at it, Jonah. They know exactly what's happening right now.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Rory McKernan and Mat Sherwood. We are just a day away from 15.1. Mat Fraser taking on Rich Froning in Canton, Massachusetts at Reebok CrossFit 1. And you can watch the whole thing live on games.crossfit.com on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And unless we could just hit the fast forward button and go right to the games, I can't really think of a better way to start this thing off.
Now, well, Sean, you know our policy on the show
Yes,
is
I do.
Give the people what they
Bingo.
want. Who doesn't want to see Froning go against Fraser and vice versa? So here you go. You're welcome.
Yeah, there's only one sad thing. There's only one negative I can draw from this, and it's the fact that this is the only time we're going to see it. Rich is going to go team, and so we got a one-time gig. But I will say that I think this is definitely going to be the best matchup we've ever seen CrossFit put forth.
Number one against number two. The defending champion, Rich Froning, four-time defending champion, taking on the man who actually pushed him into the final event of the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Games. This is how they stack up on paper. Rich Froning with the height and the weight advantage. They are in different regions. Froning is out of that ultra-competitive Central East and Fraser in the Northeast. So Froning has said he is going to go team. No more individual competition for him. Despite that, he says he does have a different goal, but his focus is still the same.
Everybody's like, you're retired. Not retired, still working out, working out like crazy. Just a different goal. Want to win a team competition at the games. That's the goal right now. May not be this year, but I'm competing for it this year. Maybe a couple years, but it's going to be it's a different challenge, something new.
So no more individual competition for Rich Froning. He says that he wants to focus on being a father. So why are we going to see the same Rich Froning and 15.1 that we are used to seeing win the CrossFit Games?
Sounds like he's a lot less fun than he used to be, huh, with these added responsibilities. But I think people hear these responsibilities and they think, okay, Rich has obviously severely lowered his training volume or intensity. Not the case. He, if anything, has only increased it. I mean, what was the one thing that maybe he looked human doing or bad was running, right? Well, he's been running his butt off. Chris Henshaw has him on a program, so the one weakness we were aware of is shored up, and anyone who's familiar with CrossFit knows working your weakness also improves your strength. So how terrifying is that? The things Rich is already good at, he should be now better at, so I expect to see a better than ever Rich Froning going against Fraser.
That's scary.
Yeah. Now, what about Mat Fraser? This guy is looked at as the heir apparent because he finished second place. Obviously, there's that. But other than that, why should we believe the hype surrounding Mat Fraser?
Hey, listen, you look at his performance last year and it speaks for itself. And people latch onto these 15-second Instagram videos of him snatching big weight, but for Mat Fraser, the hype is deserved because of the other 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 45 seconds of the day. He works hard on par with Rich Froning's work ethic. So he was negligible in 2013. You could have overlooked him. He didn't qualify for the games, 192nd overall in the World Wide Open. He took that experience and he dove headlong into his weaknesses like you were talking about, almost to a fault. I spoke to him and Ben Bergeron, his coach, and they said the kid's actually crazy. Like, he thought he was bad at muscle-ups, so he did 50 a day. 50 a day for weeks,
right?
Until he could link 30 together. And you saw the culmination of a year of hard work going into the gym saying, what do I suck at? Let's do it. Let's do it a lot. And it was a second place finish at the CrossFit Games, domination of the Northeast, and a seventh place finish in the World Wide Open.
How does somebody go, I'm going to consider myself okay at muscles when I can link 30 together? And that's just, oh my God.
That was what happened after.
Right.
We don't know what the workout is, so we'll have to speculate a little bit here. But what does Mat Fraser want to see Dave Castro announce if he has a chance of beating the champ?
Well, listen, let's be honest. There's nothing that's going to come out where Mat Fraser's going to be pumping his fist and Rich Froning's going to have his head in his hands and be upset. There's nothing that favors him dramatically. They're very similar in open workouts even. They're separated by a couple of minutes or a handful of reps. So I think the only thing Fraser can do to beat Rich is to pull Froning off of his game. And so you're not going to go in there like you saw Panchik, and he challenged Rich at the regionals, but he was doing it on Rich's terms. He was trying to pace off of Rich, and it's never going to work out in your favor. I think he's got to pull a Briggs in 14.5, shoot himself out of a cannon, in your words, and just see if Rich will take the bait and try and keep up.
But what about for Froning? And this is no disrespect to Fraser, because hell of an athlete, but Froning is clearly the favorite. Does he just show up and win, or?
I got to play honestly off what Rose said. I think you nailed it. And if Rich is going to win, he has to stick to his game plan. And think of all the pressure that he has on himself. if what he says is true, that this is his last time, he's done competing as an individual, then we might see him at 15.1 as the last time competing as an individual against somebody. So he wants to leave on a win. Who's kidding who? The Invitational loss hurt, for years. And so I think if he goes out there, he knows this is it, I'm under the lights. If he tries to chase somebody that he shouldn't chase and not play his game, he could be his own worst enemy. So Rich needs to, he's a veteran, knows what he needs to do. He has a recipe for winning. Just go out there and execute the damn plan.
This will be asked quite a bit in the coming days. Is there any chance Rich Froning shows up and says, you know what, I am going to compete this year?
I think there is, and here's what I think it could be. It's, again, that pride that he hates to lose. I think if he loses to Fraser, that he just won't be able to say, my last thing I did in front of the community as an individual was a loss. I think that will haunt him at night, and that we'll somehow see him coming back.
Yeah, you said it. He won't show up and say that, but he might leave saying that.
Yeah, and I think then there are a lot of people who are saying, go Mat Fraser, because we want to see
No
Rich
doubt.
Froning back in the games. Yeah, we'll get to find out how it all goes down tomorrow. 15.1, Canton, Massachusetts, at Reebok CrossFit 1. Rich Froning and Mat Fraser. Watch it live on games.crossfit.com at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Stick around for the cool down show. I will be there alongside Bill Grundler calling the action. Rory McKernan will be there. We hope that you will be there either live or on the web with us. It is going to be a blast. That is going to do it for today. For Pat Sherwood and Rory McKernan, I'm Sean Woodland. You guys have a great time with the Open.